Hey, Shalom, Yeshua world, and Brother Ezekiel.
Brother Chris.
And we're at a new lesson today. I'm titled this, Cursed be the man who trusts in man and make it his arm flesh, and who heart departs away from the Most High. I have to get on this subject because, like I said, I've been seeing too many people who's becoming gullible, of following too much of the flesh of man or woman nowadays. And they're putting them up as a pedestal as if they're God themselves. And we see this going on when people came out of Christianity, still going on in Islam, so forth and so on. And now even in the Israelite community, to the point where once again, I'm always going to say this until y'all change your habits. Your deacon, elders, bishops, whatever man-made titles you guys created, until you guys start setting down your little titles and stuff and humble yourself down and start teaching your flock, or I shouldn't say your flock, the Most High's flock, the actual Torah, and feed them the righteous bread that they're supposed to be getting, which is the one and only doctrine, instead of creating these man-made doctrines just to get people to follow you and stuff and put up with your folly and things. So, for everybody that's watching this is where we're starting off at, is Jeremiah chapter 17. And we're starting at verse 5 through 11.
Book of Jeremiah, the 17th chapter, and verse 5 reads, Thus saith the Most High, Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Most High.
So, obviously we see here, whose heart departed. We know a lot of times the translation could be heart, but it's also talking about the mind. Your mind is departing away from the Most High. We have instructions, which is called the Bible, the Torah, the Tanakh, the Gospel, but in that order. Notice I didn't say the Tanakh, the Gospel, the Torah, or the Gospel, the Torah, the Tanakh. No, we went to the Tanakh. We went to the Torah, the Tanakh, and the Gospel. That's how Christ or the Mashiach told you how to do it in that order. But go ahead, Elder.
For he shall be like the heat in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness and a salt land, and not inhabit it.
So basically, I said this in many lessons before. He's telling you, like you see in those cartoons, where they're crawling in the desert and stuff, and all of a sudden they see a oasis with trees and water to drink. They go running, they start swimming in it and stuff, and the next thing you know it, they disappear and they're swallowing sand and spitting sand out their mouth and swimming around in sand and stuff. That's exactly what our people are doing today, because you're not trying the Spirit. You can't even try the Spirit because you don't know how to try the Spirit. You can't tell if it's good or if it's wicked. You can't tell because you don't know the Torah. You don't know the law, statute, and commandments. That's why Christ was, well, we'll get into what he said because I'm showing to prove this all the time, but this is how you try the Spirit, but y'all people ain't trying the Spirit. You're too busy watching YouTube videos. I'm not saying that it don't help, but you got a lot of wicked people out here on YouTube videos creating lessons that have no understanding whatsoever. And it's not saying trying to boast and say, I know it all and things like that. No, but I study very diligently in this word and stuff, okay? So I think I know two or three things about the scriptures and know what I'm talking about, okay? But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 7, Blessed be the man that trusteth in Yah, and whose hope the Most High is.
It's a blessing if you put your trust in the Most High. You got the word right here, the Bible. You don't need no other man to interpret everything to you. The laws are plain Jane. It's straight to the point, okay? What you guys are being lazy, you don't want to read for yourself. This is why we keep saying this and uttering this every single time. But go ahead, Elder.
For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the years of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit.
And like I said before, just on a scientific level or in doing it myself, landscaping, gardening, cropping and things. If you notice, people put wood chips on their plants and things, and what happens is those wood chips, people think that's dead. It's not dead. Those plants they send up vibrations, or they talk to those wood chips, and when it's really hot, or let's say it's raining and stuff, those wood chips soak up so much water and stuff, and then to the point where it's really hot, if those plants need water, they talk to those wood chips, and the wood chips release certain amount of water to keep it green and stuff, to keep it thirsty. I mean, to keep it hydrated and stuff. Okay, that's a known fact. That's without the Bible. So I know exactly what Jeremiah was talking about right here, according to the Most High. But go ahead, Elder.
The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Who can know it? How do you know that this person is good? What, because they got, like I said, a three-piece suit on, or all flashy garments and things, because they got a big congregation or big camp, and everybody must, they must be right, they must be true. How do you know that? Have you tried their spirit? Did you put them to the test? No, you didn't put them to the test. You just went off of what normal Christians do and stuff, is word of mouth, word for mouth and stuff. Hey, such and such, why don't you come over here, listen to what they saying and stuff. Hey, they got the truth, they got the truth, they got the truth. But you didn't even test them or try their spirit. So how do you know if they have the truth or not? And you don't know the Torah. You ain't testing it. But go ahead, Elder.
I, Ahia, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways, and according to the fruit of his doings.
So the Most High tells you he tries the heart. He searches out the heart. He tells you this in later scriptures. This is how you find out what's going on in this person's mind. Observe them. Watch the patterns that they do in things. This is how you could tell if they're righteous or wicked. Okay? But once again, we're not doing these things. We're not listening to what he's telling us. This is the instruction for your salvation to gain immortality. Okay? And get all the rewards that and the blessings that's laid up in the kingdom, and even the things on the earth, material that you want, that you never even pray for, he'll give to you. You but just follow his word. But go ahead, Elder.
As the prosperous sitteth on eggs and hatches them not, so he that getteth riches and not by right shall leave them in the midst of his days, and at the end shall be a fool.
So you got individuals that will go out here and do unrighteous things just to get them riches and stuff. That's not righteous. Okay? So we need to understand, how can we try the spirit to know that these individuals is righteous or of the Most High? So let's jump to to back this up. Let's jump to Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 5.
Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 5. And it reads, There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceeded from the ruler.
I'm sorry, Elder. Salakia, y'all. I'm sorry. Can you start at verse 1? My bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Salakia, y'all.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 1. Dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savor. So doth the little folly him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor.
So him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor. Talking about you trying to get for men and women and stuff. You trying to get praised up by people. One little folly will ruin all that. But the problem is, you guys don't know what folly is, because you don't know his laws. You are not trying it. So you're clapping for follies and stuff that these men are teaching you, and women now. This is what's going on in Israel today. Same thing in the churches, same thing in the mosques, same thing in all these other little temples and synagogues and things. Same exact stuff. Because you are lazy and not reading it. You give excuses about how, oh man, I can't really read it so much. That's why I'm working. I put YouTube videos on. I just listen while I'm working and things and so forth and so on. But here it is, you on Facebook for 10 minutes straight, when you could use those 10 minutes to read the book for yourself without any private interpretations or any influence of any man or woman or child out there. Excuses. And like I said, I'm going to do a lesson on excuses and choices after this one, for a fact. But go ahead, Elder.
A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart at his left.
You know why he says right hand and left? Because the Most High said, my sheep are in my right hand, and the goats are in the left hand. Mm-hmm. The wheat are in my right, and the tares are in my left. Goats don't want to listen to nobody. They do whatever they want. Okay? If you observe nature, tares, it's good for nothing. What can it grow? There's no seeds to it whatsoever. It can't nourish you. It can't do anything. But wheat can. Sheep listen. But a lot of y'all are blinded sheep and things out there. And you got mixed up. A lot of y'all, the wheat, got mixed up with the tares and stuff. Now your wheat is good for nothing. It's going to start losing value and nutrients and whatever else. Because you listening to these folly men and women out here. Okay? But go ahead, Elder.
Ye also, when he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth him. And he said to everyone that he is a fool.
So, all this wisdom of the world and stuff, like I've been noticing this for a long time. You guys make the Bible boring. You make it so boring because you have to bring in all this other stuff, all this other spirituality things, and combine it into the scriptures and stuff. A lot of stuff that I walked when I was a child and stuff that I got introduced into so-called spirituality and stuff. All this stuff that I learned from there, which was witchcraft and all this other stuff, you guys are starting to do that now. It's like vice versa. And then I'm trying to explain this to you, but the Bible's too boring. It's not good enough. No, you're boring because you're not seeking the Father. You get all these secret things. All them books are write-offs from the Bible. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's all it is. But they're twisting the word to their own, for their own status.
Fame and glory.
For fame and glory, that's right, for money and stuff. And then you guys uphold that person. Oh, he's very knowledgeable. He has much wisdom and stuff. Wisdom of who? Wisdom of the Most High or self? Or I should say of the world. Both. Self and the world. And that's vain. Okay? And you're going to see, like it says, in his days he's going to be a fool. And for y'all that followed him, y'all going to be the fool too. But go ahead, Elder.
If the spirit of the ruler rise up against thee, leave not thy place, for yielding pacifieth great offenses. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place.
Stop right there a second. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceeded from the rulers. Your so-called men that you uphold as being these so-called men of God and stuff are in error. And you guys set them up. As a matter of fact, you didn't set them up. They set themselves up. And I'm going to show you the order according to the Most High who should have titles and things like that. It's not according to a man creating himself his own title. It has to be done with a king. And then the king picks who's going to be a captain, who's going to be this and this, that, and the other in Israel and stuff. Which that king is chosen by the Most High. Last time that I checked, we ain't got no king on earth right now. The Mashiach ain't here yet. So what are you doing setting yourself up? Okay? But you guys are following these rulers, these men who claiming they doing this and doing that. Nah, you need to check yourself and you need to check them. Seriously. Okay? But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princesses walking as servants upon the earth. He that diggeth a pit shall fall into it, and whosoever breaketh a hedge, a serpent shall bite him.
You know, check this. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. Dig that. You know the reason why they do that? If you know anything about warfare and things like that, the prince are easy targets on horses and stuff. You're putting a big target on yourself. This comes with knowledge and wisdom and understanding and experience and stuff. This is just work. This is just a low level knowledge right here. Okay. This is why the servants are running up on the horses and things like that, and the prince is walking. But then you also have as it said, he that diggeth a pit shall fall into it. First and foremost, if you're going to dig a hole, you have to make you something that can get you out of that hole. Otherwise, you dig so deep, who's around to save you and get you out that hole? How you gonna climb out? And you didn't make no holes no sturdy holes to grip to climb out. You didn't make a little ladder. You didn't have a second person over there to watch over to make sure that you could trust that's gonna help you get out of there when you get done digging. See, little stuff like this, but that's not good enough. That's not deep enough for y'all. But this is why we keep trying to show this. Whoso breaketh an hedge and a serpent shall bite him. This is nature. If you're cutting grass or you're doing anything, you're pruning, you're doing all these things, depending on where you at, you need to bang against certain things. Like for instance, when you cutting the grass or you brush up against a bush, all of a sudden birds fly out. You need to do that with anything because you never know. You might have some poisonous snake that will come out and bite you and poison you and stuff. You have to shake, you have to hit it to test it to make sure there's nothing in there that can hurt you. This is direction. This is the same thing how we apply it to the scriptures today to get you through this walk and stuff and get you through this wicked world. That's what he's trying to apply here. Mm-hmm. But we ain't looking at it like that. It's not deep enough. But go ahead, Elder.
Whoso removeth stones shall be hurt therewith, and he that cleaveth wood shall be endangered thereby.
So who removeth stones? If anybody does mining or whatever, you don't hit every single stone. You have to check to make sure that that stone won't cave in on, cause a avalanche and make it all cave in on you and kill you. Architect, building houses, building buildings, whatever. You need to learn that you got to start from baby steps all the way up to adult steps. You got to grow teeth before you can chew hard food and things.
Mm-hmm. Drink the milk before eating.
Yeah, there you go. This is what he's trying to explain to you here in the scriptures. This is how we're supposed to break this down in life, nature. Mm-hmm. That's why the Most High, a lot of times in your vision, he uses animals. Okay? But go ahead, Elder.
If the iron be blunt, and he do not whet the edge, then must he put to more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct.
But wisdom is profitable to direct.
Yes.
And basically, when he talks about cleaving wood and stuff, there's a way you when you chop wood, you're supposed to actually put like a block of wood down by your feet, by your toes, just in case you miss and you end up hitting your toes. You'll cut off your toes or whatever. I mean, that's the way I've been taught and things like that. There's probably other different ways and so forth and so on. But also it says if the blade ain't sharpened and stuff, you got to put more effort into it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You could on a scientific level, you could mess up your rotator cuff. You could strain muscles and stuff because you having to hit it hard and things like that. You know, so forth and so on. So I mean, just these little things, these little nuggets right here. But wisdom is profitable to direct. As we see, the wisdom in this book is the law, statute, and commandments of the Most High. That's the profitable thing, to direct you in all things that you do on this earth, that you put your hands to. Go ahead, Elder.
Surely the serpent will bite without enchantment, and a babbler is no better.
Surely the serpent will bite without enchantment. It's just going to bite you. It ain't going to smooth talk you. It ain't going to caress you, nurture you, none of that. It's just gonna bite, plain and simple. And some will creep on you because they don't have poison. They'll suffocate you. They'll strangle you to death. Okay, but go ahead, Elder.
The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow up himself. The beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is mischievous madness. A fool also is full of words, and man cannot tell what shall be, and what shall be after him. Who can tell him?
That real quick. That's letting you know also too that you need to be mindful. Watch what individuals are saying, because a lot of people just talk, and talk. And like I said, you can go into a church, even now, well, Hebrew Israelites now, you know, you could go into their place and teach them everything. I mean, you could teach them about baking a cake or whatever, and they'll say amen to that. They will sit there not even listening because they're just glorified by the man or the woman. So, the altar, so forth and so on. And nobody's checking these guys, their background and stuff. You won't know the Torah. You can't even tell if they tell you a lie or not. So you just falling for anything. Same thing when it comes to relationships and things. You men, and I'm going to get on this later on. Like I said, I'm going to do this lesson. I'm going to put a whole lesson together about men. And I'm going to put a whole lesson together about sisters and stuff. This is why our people are failing. Because the men are not doing what they're supposed to do according to the law, statute, and commandments. So therefore, when they're doing the wickedness, it falls on the sisters who believe what they're saying and stuff. Because a lot of times, both sides are looking at each other carnally and not spiritually. 99% physical and only 1% spiritual. That's what they looking at and stuff. And this is a huge problem. And this is why we trying to help strengthen our people. But you have to humble yourself all the way down and start reading for yourself. You have to put forth that effort. Otherwise, all these things are going to happen to you. And guess what? The Most High is going to allow it to happen. So stop blaming Satan, because Satan ain't got nothing to do with it. He's just following order what the Most High told him. Because the Most High said, I created good and I also created evil. On the sixth day, he finished creating the heavens and all the host of the heavens. So with that being said, Satan is just doing what the Most High said, ordered him to do. It's you. It's yourself. Blame yourself. Okay?
Or you could go down to the etymology where people say, oh, Satan means rebellious seed. You're being rebellious.
Right. One way or another. So I mean, you gotta blame yourself. You gotta take responsibility for your choices, your actions. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 15. The labor of the foolish wearieth every one of them, because he knoweth not how to go to the city. Woe to the old land.
Wait, read that again. Go again. Hey, read that again,
Verse
Elder.
15. The labor of the foolish wearieth every one of them, because he knoweth not how to go to the city.
Okay, so the foolish is wearies all of them and not know how to go into the city. What city could that be? Maybe the kingdom of heaven? Now you worry, and why I'm saying this because, like I said before, you guys call yourself prophets and prophetess and stuff and don't even know the definition of a prophet or a prophetess according to the law. You didn't even try them accordingly. And here it is, you're upholding them as being this. I've heard it from the camps because I almost used to teach it myself and things. But they said that Obama was supposed to serve a third term. They swore all up and down on the Most High's name, whether they said Ahia, Yah, Yahweh, Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahuwah, or Jah. If they were claiming on the Most High the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, this is what they were doing. They threw attitude behind it. Wow. Also, if you was to question them, like, wait a second, how are they supposed to serve a third term, blah, 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 and this, that, and the other, even your followers would get pissed off at the people who was telling the truth and stuff. So you taught them to be wicked just like that because they feel in their mind that, oh, you're bringing a new doctrine and stuff, and here it is, you're wearying their soul. It's agitating their soul of, not even their soul, but their mind of what they already been brainwashed with. So now, here it is, you have Obama that you guys put videos out claiming this, and all you camps were all guilty of that. You told everybody that he was going to serve a third term. I'll never forget, and like I said this in other lessons before, I said, I started a countdown clock. I said, listen, all of Israel who didn't fall for this, get your stones ready and be ready to stone your so-called prophets, your elders, deacons, and bishops, and pastors, and prophetesses and stuff too. Be ready to stone them. If no war kicks off by 12 o'clock the next day for Trump to take office, if nothing kicks off, all y'all should get stoned and put to death because you broke the commandment of taking the Most High's name in vain, meaning took it without making his name without worth and value and stuff. You need to get put to death. Also, you broke the law, Deuteronomy 18 and 18 all the way down where it talks about what's the order of a prophet. If he or she says certain things and it doesn't come to pass, you need to put him to death or her. And guess what? Nothing kicked off. And guess what? Obama ain't serving the third term. We didn't hear nothing from y'all for at least a month or two. And then all your followers gave up the stupid excuse. Well, let's use the scriptures. We all looking through a dim window. We don't see everything clearly. Nah. Nope. Nah, you guys lied because you're following that man instead of following the Most High. Your new idol, like I said in the last lesson, is that man. He or that woman. He can talk and breathe, and they ain't supposed to be talking and breathing and seeing and tasting. Like Elder said, they don't see the truth. They can't hear the truth. They couldn't even taste the truth. They couldn't even speak the truth. And that's exactly what's going on today. You don't even know if truth was. We gave there's a good scripture when the Mashiach came back and he wasn't looking all the same and stuff, and they didn't know who he was. He said, why y'all crying and stuff? Ooh, this, that, and the other. They didn't even recognize him that was the Messiah. And he was sitting there telling them, he started teaching them the laws again, the prophets, and the Psalms of David. And they still didn't recognize him. Only way they recognized him is when he took the bread and broke it and he gave blessings to the Father. Then they recognized him and he disappeared. It took food. Do you know how that's messed up? Food is how you recognize somebody? Not by the words of the Most High, but food. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. And that's what's going on today. Because somebody in sweet talk you or tickle your little ears, right? Or pedestal you or give into your little emotions and stuff. That's why. Because you didn't stand firm on it. But, hey, what do I know? I don't like dealing with Ezekiel. He too, man. He overly righteous. You want to grab the rest of this, Elder?
Verse 16.
Yes.
Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princesses eat in the morning.
And your leaders are children. Literally, they're children. Because they don't know nothing of the Torah and they ain't teaching none of this. And how I know this too, like I said, I know majority of those camps, and I've been in those camps. They ain't teaching the full laws. No, they not. And if they do, you're not testing them. You didn't bring a strongest concordance, a blue letter Bible, you know what I'm saying, to back up the Hebrew of what they're saying and stuff in the context. You guys are not doing that. That's too much work for you. But you don't want the kingdom. You just want it to be handed to you like, I showed up. I stopped eating shrimp, lobster, and crab and pork. You know, I stopped, touching her when she was on her menstrual cycle and things. You know, I haven't touched any dead bodies. I'm clean. How do you know you clean? How do you know? And I sometimes put some of the brothers and sisters I talk to on the phone with, I put them to the test. What is the ordinance of cleaning yourself from touching a dead body? What's the ordinance of that? What's the ordinance of prepping the Passover lamb? What's the ordinance when a man has an issue coming out of his jewels downstairs? What is the ordinance when you have mold, or what they call mold is actually leprosy inside your house? What's the ordinance of cleaning that up? What else is there? Let's see. I mean, there's so many.
Lineage, the lineage.
Right. Well, how do you know you're so-called what you say you are? How do you know you're Judah? How do you know you're Levite or Benjamin and so forth and so on?
Or a king.
Right. Or the king. How do you know you're the sons of Aaron? How do you know what's the ordinance of the tabernacle? Who can touch the Ark of the Covenant? Who can bear it up? Who can cover it? Who can perform the sacrifices? Who? How, you don't know none of these things, and this is supposed to be in the kingdom.
These are all laws.
This is all foreshadow, and you think you getting into the kingdom? That's why the Mashiach even says that you might, key words, might make it in. There's also Dang, I'll pull it out later, but I'll get the scripture later. But anywho, continue, Elder.
Verse 17. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles, and thy princesses eat in due season, for strength and not for drunkenness.
For strength and not for drunkenness. The king is a son of nobles, men with wisdom, righteous men, and understanding, righteous women, women with wisdom, according to the Most High, not themselves, men and women. Okay, that's what a real true king is. Okay, one who could sit there and listen and take in knowledge and wisdom, or find out what really true knowledge and wisdom is, who could close their mouth and just open their ears, which a lot of our people can't do because everybody act like they know everything. So proud, so prideful, chest all the way up. The scriptures wasn't lying about when this world would increase in knowledge and stuff, man, that increased with so much pride and so forth and so on. Now you can't tell nobody nothing. A lot of people can't even see what the truth really is. And especially when they have the book right there in front of you. There's your shepherd. Here's your comforter. This is the spirit of wisdom right here in lettering. But you refuse to take it and read it. But go ahead, Elder.
By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through.
By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through. What it's talking about here? Your body is the temple. The Most High is supposed to be dwelling right upstairs here, but you ain't taking care of this temple. You putting everything in your body you shouldn't be putting in, and things, and all this and that and the other and stuff. You're letting every so-called knowledge and wisdom come from all angles except from the Most High. All the worldly wisdom comes in, and that's what starts destroying you, because now you turned your focus away from the Most High, and you think you God now. But Psalms 82 and 6 says we is gods. We Elohims. We're the powers of the earth, not of heavens, but of the earth. You have a position that you're supposed to do, but you ain't standing up. That's why the whole world is all out of course. And you is out of course, because you not following according to what the Most High said, and you ain't giving glory where the glory is supposed to be due to. You taking his glory. Literally. But go ahead, Elder.
A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but more money answereth all things. Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber. For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which maketh wing shall tell the matter.
Somebody would sit here and tell me, and I've pretty much heard this a lot of times. You would have somebody who say, well, you keep talking about the camps and stuff. You cursing them and stuff. Bro, I didn't wish no ill will on them cats. I didn't put no hex on them. All I asked for them is to stop lying and teach the full truth, the Torah. And tell everybody that. Stop worrying about if people going to follow you or not. That's what I said. I don't sit there on my bed thinking, yeah, I can't wait till the Most High drops something on him. I can't wait till he shut her mouth and cut up her vocals so she'd never talk again. I don't say stuff like that. I actually pray for you guys to get us right, but you guys don't want to. So what I'm going to continue to do is aggravate you guys on. Your followers watch my videos and things. They're going to keep coming to you with questions and stuff and things like this to the point you start watching it, and I'm going to mock you. I'm going to continue to make fun of y'all until you come back and keep the Most High's law, statute, and commandments, and teach the people the righteous law, statute, and commandments fully and thoroughly, and make sure those people have a blue letter Bible, a strongest concordance, and you guys take the time out and break down every word back in our original language, which is Hebrew, in context. Until then, if you ain't finna do it, I'm going to continue to keep mocking you. And for your followers to ask me questions, I'm going to laugh at them about this stuff. And I'm going to keep telling them, why y'all listen to man-made doctrines? Why do you keep dealing with them? I ain't asking nobody to follow me, and I ain't hating on nobody. I don't want nobody to follow me. I want you to follow the Most High. Period. Why you think we in the basement here teaching the word and stuff? How come you haven't seen me have some big old building? Like, look, Ezekiel got this. He's standing on the pulpit. Wow, man, they really got the truth over there. Look at all the followers. That's not what it was called for. And I'm going to get on to Paul's writings too, like I said, because Christ never said, he never told nobody to start no church and to start a building and things like that and collect money off of people. He never said that. Period. He told you to go by the twos. According to the law, let 2 or more witnesses, let everything be established. Also in judging. Okay? So he told them, go by the twos. To each city, carry no water, no food, no money, no script, which is a staff, and go into them cities and teach the word. And if they don't want it, dust off your shoulders and your whole body and stuff and woe that place and keep it moving. But if they do accept you, you will receive those things. I know this for a fact. It's living proof. I've had people come up and give me money and I never even asked for no money. We don't got no bucket out there asking for tithes and alms. I break down what a tithe and an alm is. 2 different things. An alm is a gift from the heart that you just feel that you want to give. That's on you. I don't ask it for you. I don't ask for donations and stuff. I have a job. If I want to build something or start something, I work my butt off and I put my money towards it. If brothers and sisters around me see that and they feel like, well, we shouldn't let Ezekiel pay for that all. Hey, brother Ezekiel, here you go. Here, this should help out with the thing. That's on them. I didn't ask him for it. And nor would I even rely on that. I won't even get comfortable doing that like you guys do. And then tithing ain't got nothing to do with money. It's all about food. Okay? And the only time it's said about money is that if you're too far off from traveling and stuff to carry all those things back into Jerusalem to give sacrifice to, when you get into Jerusalem, take your money and go buy those things that you lusted after to give to the priest for the Levites and things. Okay? That's what you're supposed to do. I've had men come up and give us bottles of water and stuff. And catch this, it was the elders. No wonder I got elders around me and things like that. Okay? But this is the problem. Y'all too busy cussing people out on the street corners and things like that, and with no direction, no understanding whatsoever, just because it's entertaining. Y'all want to laugh and you like this stuff. That's bogus, man. Y'all giving the Most High a real bad name and us a bad name. Just for all little foolery to say, hey, look, we got the white man to bow down and kiss our feet. When the Most High said through his son that he will make the other nations lick up the dust off your feet and bow down and worship you to know that I love you. Yes. That's what he said. And you guys still glory for the Most High. And you're so dang trapped up in it because you're so blinded by your pride and your accomplishments, and that the people pedestal you to the point where you can't even see that you're doing folly. You're doing wrong and unrighteous stuff. You're wicked. But anyways, all right. I was going on my little tangent. Anyways, so let's back this up about trying these spirits and things. Let's go to 1 John chapter 4 and verse 1 through 6. 1 John chapter 4 and verse 1 through 6.
First John chapter 4 and verse 1 reads, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets have gone out into the world.
Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Now, mind you, there's bones all through Paul's writings and through the New Testament and stuff. I know it. But I've done studies to show and prove to spit out the bones and things like that and take the meat, okay? Because, like I said, I'm going to get into that once I'm done with what I'm doing. Then I'm going to break this down and things like this, okay? And show you where the bones are and stuff. But anywho, continue, Ellie.
Verse 2. Hereby know ye the Spirit of the Most High. Every spirit that confesseth that Yeshua is the Messiah come in the flesh is of Yah.
No, it's not of Yah.
Is of Yah.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Sorry.
And every spirit that confesseth not that Yeshua is come in the flesh is not of Yah. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it was come, and even now already is in the world. Ye are of the Most High, little children, and have overcome them. But greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. They are not of the world, therefore they speak not of the world, and the word heareth them. Ye are of the Most High, he that knoweth the Most High heareth us. He that is not of the Most High heareth not us. Hereby know ye the spirit of truth and the spirit of error.
So how can you discern which one is spirit of truth and which one is spirit of error when you don't even read his book? You follow whatever that man tells you to do, or woman. How do you know it's true and how you know it's error? How do you know? You don't try it. You don't even know how to try it, like I said before. And show and prove to you. That stuff is worldly. A lot of their teachings is worldly. Notice how much they talk and not even paying attention that they're not even bringing out that many scripts. Like, if you actually watch their videos, like, they got 3-hour videos out there and stuff on teachings and stuff. Count how many scriptures there is. And if they got 3 hours and they only brought out 14 scriptures, you still in church. You still in Christianity. That's why I have so many segments each hour. 1 hour, that's all you need, because people lose they don't have a long attention span and they start getting tired. And that was shown to prove when Christ asked them, hey, disciples, y'all couldn't stay up for 1 hour with me and pray? Okay? That's it. All these little teachings in here. Okay? But that shows and prove that they are dealing still worldly and they are a man of much words.
I wouldn't even say 14 scriptures. I'll say like 3.
Well, in 3 hours, 14, that's it? That's messed up. Here it is, we go 1 hour and I give you 20-something scriptures. And I'm just saying, and not try to boast about it, but I'm just saying, we talk more of the scriptures and breaking it down according to what we go through life and what our ancestors went through. But that was it on that. Yeah, you went to verse 6. Okay. Let's back this up. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 4. Let's see how you can get understanding or get how to learn these things, because you have to earn it. It has to be given onto you through the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit.
Paul's writings.
12, 14.
1 Corinthians chapter 12.
Yeah. And verse 4.
Okay. 1 Corinthians 12 and 4 says, now, there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administration, but the same King. And there are diversities of operation, but it is the same Elohim that worketh in all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. And to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom.
So right here, here's one gift. Count on your fingers. You got one. Is the Spirit gives the word of wisdom. Go ahead, Elder.
Verse 8, part 2. To another the word of knowledge.
The word of knowledge. Wisdom and knowledge is two different things. Okay?
By the same Spirit. To another, faith.
Faith. In order for you to walk this path, you got to believe that the Most High is going to have your back for every little thing there is if you but keep his law, statute, and commandments. You can't worry about stuff. Okay? If you start worrying things, you really ain't got... You fearing everything else but the Most High. And the Most High said he doesn't create us with the spirit of fear. So why did you allow that spirit to come inside you, which is called fear? Okay? But go ahead, Elder.
And that's faith by the same Spirit. To another, the gifts of healing by the same Spirit.
Healing. There's a fourth gift. Healing. Go ahead.
To another, the working of miracles.
Miracles.
To another, prophecy.
Prophecy.
To another, discerning of spirits.
Discerning of spirits.
To another, diverse kinds of tongues.
Diverse kinds of languages.
To another, the interpretation of tongues.
The interpretation of tongues. So right there, we're showing and prove to you that we have 9 different gifts of diversity that you have to give on to your people and things like that. Salakia, 1 second, y'all. I don't know what this happened.
And last week lesson, we were in Psalm 115. And the brother was, we read verse 5 through verse 7. And in verse 5, it says, they have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes they have, but they cannot see. Ears they have, but they cannot hear. Noses they have, but they cannot smell. They have hands, and they handle not. And their feet, but they walk not, neither speak through their throat. And that we were discussing that the word truth kept coming up. So we said they have mouths, but they're not speaking the truth. Then we said they have eyes, but they can't see the truth. And then we said they have ears, but they can't hear the truth. It said they have noses, and they can't smell the truth. They have hands, but they do not handle the truth. So when he was reading that word truth kept jumping up in my mind. So when they walk, they don't walk toward the truth.
That's right. And told our elder for bringing that out. That's what I said, because I bumped him last week. I was like, why'd you say that? You know what I'm saying? Bring it out. But just showing and prove right there. These are your new idols. Okay? These are walking, talking, lively idols, but they're hollow.
Yes.
The spirit of the Most High is not in them. No matter how much it sounds like it's true, it's not. And once again, they got agendas behind them because they're trying to push things to get the likes, to get pedestal, to get money. Okay? And a lot of them don't want to work and stuff, and they try to use scriptures. Well, see, we doing the ministry and stuff. Shut up, man. Stop robbing the people, man. Get your weak butt on out there and start working your job. Start laboring seriously.
Yes.
If I'm sitting here laboring, and I'm driving a truck for X amount of hours a day and stuff, and I still take the time out to help teach people and stuff, dude, you can do the same thing. And I'm not trying to hear that, oh, well, they're helping out with the ministry and stuff with the money and things like that. Nah, man, that is not your full-time job, dude. Get out there and go earn your own living. And especially Ecclesiastes tell you about that. You need to earn your own living. Seriously. And stop trying to put a price tag on the Most High's word. When knowledge and wisdom and understanding comes freely. Okay? But go ahead, Elder. Was that it on that?
That was it for the spirits.
Oh, that was verse 11.
For different diversities of spirits. Verse 11 said, but all these worketh that one and the self-same spirit, dividing to every man severally as he willed.
So here it is. The Ruach will give as much gifts as she will will it because it comes from the Most High. And this is something that Proverbs 8 tell you. You need to seek wisdom. You need to follow after her. And I keep saying her because it's a feminine spirit. That's exactly what it is. It says she, her. And we're talking about the wisest man that was walking the face of the earth by the name of Solomon before the Mashiach came down in the flesh and stuff. Okay? So, and we know they changed the word to he in the New Testament and stuff like that when it talks about the Ruach. So anyways, just showing to prove that. So you got 9 different gifts to help you get directions, to get you understanding, to discern these spirits and things and so forth and so on, to try people to see if they're righteous or wicked. Okay? So let's get the next chapter. Let's go to what the Mashiach says. Let's go to Luke 24 and verse 44. And we know I've said this in many lessons before.
Luke 24.
Yes, sir. Chapter 24 and verse 44, but and we'll read to verse 45 as well.
Luke, the 24th chapter.
You hanging in there, sis?
I don't know what that is. Oh, she's sick and sleepy.
Yep, that's good.
Oh, that's what's up. Got a cup of tea. All right, go ahead, Ellie.
Luke the 24th chapter and verse 44 says, And he said to them, These are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moshe, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me. Then opened he their understanding that they might understand the scriptures.
Then opened their understanding that they might understand the scriptures. You see the order he gave?
Yes.
He said the laws of Moshe, the prophets, and the Psalms of David concerning him. But yet you guys refuse to even to follow the direction. It's coming from the Mashiach. It ain't coming from me.
That's right.
You could precept that with John 5:45.
Yeah, we're going to go there right now. Yep, John chapter 5, verse 45. Because a lot of y'all, and I know there's Christian Israelites now and stuff, and I've heard it now. They still talk about all we need to do is love and stuff. The laws is done away with. I'm not under that and stuff. And I'm just like, wait till I hit this scripture about when it talks about about love. Wait till I hit the scripture. We might get it in this part 1. But go ahead, John 5 and verse 45.
The book of John, the 5th chapter, and verse 45 reads, Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuses you, even Moshe, in whom you trust.
So once again, Christ is saying, I'm not going to accuse you to the Father. Moshe will. So once again, how's Moshe out of the picture? Why you guys keep doing Christ versus Moses, Moses versus Christ? They're both working together. What are you talking about? Stop that crap. There's songs that they're going to sing of Moses and of Christ at the same time. That's how I know you cats don't be reading and stuff. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 46. For had ye believed Moshe, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words?
So once again, how do you, if you don't even know the Torah, how in the heck can you even believe in the prophets?
That's right.
How can you even believe in the songs of David? And sure as heck, how can you even believe in Christ if you only know the Torah?
If you neglect the Torah, you neglect Christ.
Right. If you neglect the Torah, you neglect Christ. Plain and simple. If you say the laws is done away, if I kid you not, if I hear the next one of y'all keep saying about, those laws Moses put in there himself and stuff, and I'm gonna touch in on that polygyny stuff because y'all saying that it was unlawful when Christ never said that. The Most High never said it. Our whole culture was based off of that in the first place. It was not unlawful. It was lawful. It's you wicked cats out here who's making it unlawful, and you're not doing it according to the Most High's will. That's why. That's why things don't turn out, and you guys still dealing with a Babylonian mindset. You still follow what the white man says to do and things like that, saying, he says we're supposed to deal with monogamy and stuff. When our culture is not based off of that.
That's right.
You guys keep following that, and that's why you guys keep failing in what you do and stuff, because you're too busy following these men who don't study the scriptures at all, don't read the book, but they take white men scholars who done their research on the word as they claim, and then they twist it how they want to twist it and put it in a lesson and stuff. And then now your so-called leaders put that in a YouTube lesson, and it's teaching the whole congregation this bull crap. That's what you guys are doing constantly. And this is why we can't come together and stuff, because you created so many dang doctrines that don't have nothing to do with each other. There's only one doctrine, that's the Torah. Plain and simple. So stop bringing all this stuff back into the scriptures and trying to twist it in there and all. Stop doing all that. This is why I get heated about this stuff. Every time I hear it, it agitates my soul to the highest extent, because you guys don't want to read for yourself, period. And I could just imagine how Moshe felt when he came back and he seen all this crap going on. And the Most High tried telling him, like, dude, don't make no leeway for him. Like, you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead and go down there and see what's up. You try to plead to me for them and stuff because they doing all this wicked stuff. You ain't seen it yet. But I'm going to let you go ahead and go down there. He go down there, what he do? He take the 2 tables of stone and broke them because out of the anger he was. I bet the Most High was probably sitting there like, told you. You know what I'm saying?
If you remember, Moshe wanted to do away with him. And the Most High said no. And then the Most High wanted to do away with him. And the Moshe said no.
Right. He was like, man, these people, man, I brought them out of Egypt and stuff, and I showed all my miracles, and yet they still want to sin and don't believe. I'm finna do away with them. Then Moshe is like, no, Abba, don't do that. No, don't do that. Now he comes back. Now he comes down. He sees it. Now he ready to do away with them.
Sottish people. Wow.
Man. So just showing the proof, and then the brother was bringing that out. I got like 5 more minutes, and then we'll get the rest of this. But if you want that eternal life, according to what the Most High said to do, we throwing it through the Mashiach how he said to do it and stuff. It's through his Torah. So Matthew 19 and 16 real quick. And then I'm going to back up that with Matthew 22. And then we'll just hop into Job.
19 and 16?
Yes, sir.
Matthew, the 19th chapter. 19th chapter and verse 16. And it reads, And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I might have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one. That is a higher. But if you will enter into life, keep the commandments.
Plain and simple. If you want eternal life, keep the commandments. Did it say the 10 commandments only? No, it didn't. Did it say the laws of Moses only? No, it didn't. It didn't specify on which one. So if it says commandments, it means all of them.
That's awesome.
It's plural. So stop doing this. Oh, because God write with his finger on the 2 tables of stone. That's what we're supposed to follow. Moshe was over in the bushes writing stuff down he shouldn't have been writing. Stop that. Man, y'all be killing me with that stuff, man. And never mind. Anyways, Matthew 22 and 35 through 40.
Matthew, the 22nd chapter, and verse 35 reads, Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him in a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Which is the great commandment in the law? Yeshua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Most High, thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. The second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So stop right there. You know what you guys done? You reversed these 2 commandments. You made love thy neighbor as thyself as being the first commandment. And then you bring in the Most High after that. That's what you guys been doing. That's the folly that you're doing because you put all your trust into a man or into a woman because they're your best friends or whatever and so forth and so on. So therefore, you uphold them as being God. So you actually reverse these 2 commandments right here and made love thy neighbor as thyself as the first commandment, as the greatest commandment. And why I'm saying this is because you loving yourself to the point that you God, I'm right, and nothing can be wrong of me, and so forth and so on. I got the full truth and stuff. Nobody can tell me woo 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 and all this and that and the other. And you're teaching everybody out here to do the same thing because the tongue is a builder or a destroyer, and that's what's going on today. But that's why Christ said, first thing is first, is to love the Most High thy God with all thy heart, mind, body, and soul. That is the first commandment. And you guys ain't doing that. A lot of y'all are not doing that. But these 2 hang up all the law and the prophets. Why? Is because if you love the Most High thy God with all thy heart, mind, body, and soul, guess what? You're going to do everything that he says to do. And if you love your brother and stuff knowingly, you get all these so-called blessings from the Most High, Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14 and stuff. You receive him and stuff. You see your brother down and stuff, or he ain't receiving none. You want to share some of your stuff with them, and they see, oh, how you getting that, bro? This is how I'm doing it. Teach your brothers, your sisters, how to love the Most High thy God with all their heart, mind, body, and soul, and they will receive the same thing. But a lot of y'all don't want to teach none of y'all people that. You like murdering them. And that's exactly what you guys are doing. Thou shalt not murder, you murdering them. You ain't physically doing it, you spiritually doing it. And it's going to come in the end when they're going to have to answer for all this stuff and they want to blame you and stuff. They can't blame you. They can only blame self. So anywho, that's an hour. I hope you guys got some more jewels and some understanding, some wisdom, some knowledge, so forth and so on. We'll come back to part 2 next week, and we'll start off at you know what? Real quick, I'll tell you what. Before we end this, let's go back to the law, because I'm bringing out a law. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4 through 7. To back that up what Christ was saying. Excuse me. Real quick, Salakia, y'all. My bad.
Deuteronomy 6.
Yes, sir. And
4
verse.
through 7.
Yep.
All right. Deuteronomy the 6th chapter, verse 4 through 7 reads. Verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one power. And thou shalt love the Most High with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk to them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
So, plain and simple right here, just to show and prove about teaching the word and stuff. You see how I'm ending this with the Torah? Because that's where you're supposed to go, is the Torah. So if you're teaching so-called doctrines out there, and it doesn't begin or end with the Torah and things like that, your doctrine is false. Because if you only went back to the gospel and went back to a prophet, guess what? It's not the full understanding. Because Christ said it, laws of Moses, the prophets, and the Psalms of David. That's how you get that understanding. Okay? So anywho, I'm Brother Ezekiel.
Brother Chris.
And we saying Shalom, Yasharallah, and world.
Shalom, world.